Lencito, they only compensate certain number of people. The rest they displace. Oh my, the compensation stopped coming to my house 2 months ago, but they were supposed to pay us for 15 years. And we want jobs. They already took away our grocery garden and fishery. What can we survive on?
And I also want to add that they really need to make a more accurate estimate of the total cost. In my own hometown, Itaipu, they told us that the original proposed budget was $3.4 billion. But after just a period of 3 years, they've increased it to $20 billion, and it's simply outrageous. It's ridiculous.
I can't believe that the government and the companies always invest in large-scale projects, not smaller-scale projects. For example, sanitation is terrible in many of these countries, in your countries, except they don't ever invest on proper means for them. And also, the power coming or generated by the dams, they're only benefiting the factory workers and the city, and the factories and the city workers. And so why not do something that can benefit all of us?
I know. Why not, instead of building dams, why don't we pursue other alternative renewable energy? There's solar energy and there's wind energy. Although wind energy is noisier and more space consuming, it has less of an environmental and human impact.
To commemorate these ideas, we would like to construct a declaration of independence of the abandoned and uprooted, which will list all abuses that have been imposed by the government because of these dams. The declaration of the amended and uprooted.
They have displaced our ancestors' graves.
They have displaced us from our homelands and placed us in barren lands.
They have caused the extinction of many species.
We, therefore, the representatives of the abandoned and uprooted, have assembled to declare that we want to benefit from these dams.
We also want proper compensation for our plight. We want new jobs, and we no longer want to be roaming pawns in the hands of the government. It's return to our former lives, and therefore, to officiate this document, we're all going to sign it.
We no longer want to be uprooted and abandoned.
I just wanted to ask you guys how you decided to work on the issue that you worked on.
Well, we realized we were doing some research on several other topics, and another one was human trafficking, and what were GMOs and other topics. So we realized that those are all pretty widely known topics, and we realized that not a lot of people know about dams and the great effects it has, like how it displaces so many people, how it can cause earthquakes, and how it also causes a lot of pests to occur in the area. And we really strongly felt about this topic, and we want to share our knowledge and bring up awareness about this little known topic.
Any more questions?
One of your solutions was to use alternative energy like solar or wind. How do you think, how would you convince governments to use solar and wind instead of dams?
Well, I mean, there is one organization that's trying in Brazil that's trying to get, it's called the Anti-Dam Building Network, something Portuguese, but translated. And they are trying to get the government to compromise and, not for Brazilian dams to try, to different alternative energy sources. Well, as you know, Brazil is really big on alternative energy. I mean, the largest producer of ethanol. But anyways, these other countries, we're trying to get something similar going on. Like if we did have the opportunity to, we could get other organizations like in Iraq, in India, and China that could help and do the same thing that Brazil's doing, and more outreach. Actually, this is part of it. Letting people know. Any more questions?
Yeah, why did you guys choose these countries?
By these countries? We had a lot of countries we wanted to include in our skit, but I think these three countries it's easiest to have more information on, because the Three Gorges Dam is currently being built, and I think it's going to be finished by this year or next year, if they don't have delays. But we decided to do other countries because,
well, okay, so India they are kind of notorious for having a lot of human rights problems, like with creating a lot of corrupted officials, and we wanted to display this aspect of the dam, like of the ramifications that people are displaced and corrupted officials take their compensation and they don't receive anything, and we thought that it would be a good example. And for Iraq, I read something about how there's a lot of sex slaves in there because when they're so poor, they have no other means to survive. So they have sometimes families sell their daughters, sometimes husbands sell their wives to households just so they can be slaves. Not necessarily like only sex, but they're like maids, they do everything. So we wanted to display those problems in these particular countries because it's more prominent.
And also, another reason why we chose this topic is because, as you know, there was an earthquake in China a year ago, and we read an article that explained how there are links to the Three Gorges Dam that was built that contribute to the whole earthquake in China.
Yeah, so our topic heavily focused on China and Three Gorges Dam.
Yeah.
When you were doing the research, what were you most surprised about when you learned about it that you didn't know before?
The fact that many people were displaced and they were not compensated for what happened to them and the loss of their homes and jobs.
And it also wasn't just displacement of people, it also had a lot of links to other problems, and it created new problems.
for myself, I was surprised that there are so many dams in the world, and everybody loves building dams, I guess, because it's glorified. And I was doing research on Brazil, and they said that apparently when you build dams on shallow rivers, biomass collects, and so when it decays, there's a lot of greenhouse gases. And so I thought the point of alternative energy is, not to have carbon dioxide emissions, but they're this part of the shallow dams are having it. And also I was surprised about finding that in shallow waters, mosquitoes or vectors of diseases collect or very inhibited with the area, and so a lot of diseases are increasing because of the dams that are in shallow water.
Any more questions?
What would the grandma be most surprised about? What did you do?
Probably the destruction of their culture because, they have to move away and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently she is very radical, so.
In Iraq, were most of the dams built recently, or were they built under Saddam Hussein?
In Iraq?
Yeah, Iraq.
Well, actually, because I think that some of them were built under Saddam Hussein, but it wasn't like his priority kind of thing. But then recently, how Iraq is, they're trying to get Iraq more industrialized and more, first world. They're trying to find other alternative kinds of energy to, they're trying to invest in different ways to produce energy because, oil is a big problem in the Middle East, so it's, a step forward.
How did you come up with the way that you presented the material?
We wanted to show the 3 different stages of, well, we didn't want to be repetitive in terms of, showing the whole official process of the Chinese thing. So we wanted to show, this is how it happened, this is how they informed them. And the Indian one was a little bit different, like how they informed them, but then also it showed how they were evacuated, and it was violent and forceful. And then the Iraqi one, we wanted to show that aspect as well, so, yeah, different. It's hard to focus, all 3 countries into one story, one straight linear story. So. Good job.
Great job.
Thank you.